In this video, we'll be taking a look at 3 NFL games happening on November 5th, 2023, and providing you with free team picks and total picks for each one of those games, so 6 picks in total. Welcome back to Cash Out Sports. Let's dive right into it. Oh, and don't forget to subscribe and to click the bell icon to get notified as soon as these videos get released, so that you have more time to plan out your bets as we provide these videos on a daily basis. I can guarantee that you'll have all the important information that you'll need on these 3 NFL games after fully watching this video. One more thing before we start. If you would like to gain access to our best exclusive sports picks to take your journey to the next level, then check out our Patreon in the link down below, where we offer our best single picks, parlay picks, and much more. Now let's get started. Seattle Seahawks versus Baltimore Ravens. Sunday's NFL Showdown features the Seattle Seahawks squaring off against the Baltimore Ravens. These two conference-leading teams are set to clash in a highly anticipated matchup. The Seahawks are coming off a thrilling 24-20 victory at home against the Cleveland Browns, while the Ravens secured a 31-24 road win over the Arizona Cardinals. The Seattle Seahawks, currently boasting a 5-2 record for the season, managed to overcome the Cleveland Browns in their last game with a final score of 24-20. In the fourth quarter, the Seahawks found themselves trailing 20-17, but they staged a comeback with just 38 seconds left on the clock to secure the win. Despite being outgained 385-362, Seattle forced 3 turnovers in the game. Their only 2 losses this season came at the hands of the Rams and the Bengals. The Seahawks offense is averaging 24 points per game, with 227.6 passing yards and 107.1 rushing yards per game. Geno Smith has thrown for 1,600 yards, 10 touchdowns, and 4 interceptions this season. The rushing game is led by Kenneth Walker III, who has accumulated 516 yards and 6 touchdowns, while DK Metcalf has caught 27 passes for 404 yards and 2 touchdowns. On the defensive side, the Seahawks are allowing an average of 20 points per game this season. The Baltimore Ravens, with a 6-2 record this season, are coming off a solid performance against the Arizona Cardinals, winning 31-24. Although they led 24-7 in the fourth quarter, the Cardinals managed to stage a late-game rally, scoring 17 points for a backdoor cover. Baltimore was outgained 310-268, but forced 2 turnovers to secure the win. In their 3-game winning streak, they also defeated Detroit and Tennessee. The Ravens' offense is averaging 25 points per game, with 207.6 passing yards and 143.1 rushing yards per game. Lamar Jackson has thrown for 1,767 yards, 9 touchdowns, and 3 interceptions, and he's added 380 rushing yards and 5 touchdowns. Gus Edwards has rushed for 426 yards and 5 scores, while Zay Flowers has caught 44 passes for 461 yards and 1 touchdown. On the defensive side, the Ravens are giving up an average of 15 points per game this year. The Ravens have been on a 3-game winning streak, securing victories in 3 of their 4 home games. They are performing well offensively, averaging more than 25 points per game. With the 3rd best running game in the league, they should be able to exploit the Seahawks defense, which allowed over 150 rushing yards in their last game. Additionally, they can take advantage of Seattle's struggling pass defense. In contrast, the Seahawks have won 2 consecutive games and 2 out of 3 on the road. They are also performing well offensively, scoring an average of 24 points per game. While their rushing game isn't their strong suit, their passing game is formidable. However, the Ravens are known for their strong defense, especially at home, where they average 5 sacks per game and hold opponents to under 100 rushing yards. This could put pressure on Geno Smith and lead to costly mistakes for the Seahawks. Baltimore's defense has quietly been effective all season, limiting opponents to just under 100 rushing yards and approximately 175 passing yards per game. Their defense may prove to be the key factor in this game, containing Seattle's typically potent offense. On the offensive side, the Ravens are expected to throw the ball more than usual, as the Seahawks have allowed nearly 250 passing yards per game. This, coupled with the Ravens' strong rushing attack, should result in the Ravens scoring a significant number of points in this game. Notably, the Ravens are currently ranked 1st in the league, allowing only 15 points per game, which may lead to the Seahawks struggling to move the chains against their stout defense. For Baltimore to secure a victory, they need to reach the 20-point mark, as they've fallen below it only twice this season, resulting in losses to the Colts and Steelers. The Ravens have scored a combined total of 69 points in their last 2 games, indicating their current strong form. On the other hand, Seattle has managed to score 20 points or more in 5 of their 7 games this season. Their defense has also performed well recently, conceding 20 or fewer points in each of their last 4 games. So the Baltimore Ravens to win and cover the spread as favorites is our full game side pick. In spite of the apparent limitations in Lamar Jackson's receiving core, the Ravens have positioned themselves as a top 10 passing team across several key statistical categories. Lamar boasts an impressive low interception rate of just 1.32%, ranking second in the league, and he stands among the top 5 in both yards per pass and completion percentage. The Ravens also exhibit a potent ground game, averaging 143.1 rushing yards per game at a rate of 4.4 yards per rush. It's worth noting that the Seahawks defense, though youthful and brimming with talent, has encountered few top-tier offenses. This vulnerability is evident in their recent struggles against the Rams, Detroit, and Cleveland. The primary obstacle to anticipating a high-scoring game lies in the Ravens' formidable defense, which has maintained consistent excellence throughout the season. This defense leads the league in both points allowed per game and yards per play. Even though the Cardinals managed to post 24 points in the final quarter of their game against the Ravens, this marked the highest point total Baltimore has conceded all season. It is on par with the 24 points that an injury-plagued Joe Burrow and the Bengals achieved in Week 2. Furthermore, the upcoming game in Baltimore is expected to feature sunny weather with a pleasant temperature of 68 degrees, an unusual occurrence for the Northeast. While both teams have demonstrated strong performances on both offense and defense, what truly sets the Baltimore offense apart is its consistency. Considering the relatively low total of 44 points and the favorable weather conditions, we are inclined to predict that the total points scored will surpass the projected total. Over the projected total is our full game total pick. Tampa Bay Buccaneers versus Houston Texans. In an upcoming NFL matchup at NRG Stadium, the Tampa Bay Buccaneers are set to clash with the Houston Texans. The Buccaneers currently hold a 3-4 record for the season, coming off a recent loss to the Bills. Meanwhile, the Texans, with a record of 3-4, suffered a narrow defeat at the hands of the Panthers on Sunday. In a game where the Buccaneers managed to hang on until the very end, they had an opportunity to tie the score against the Bills. However, Baker Mayfield's Hail Mary attempt fell harmlessly to the ground, ending the game with Tampa Bay falling to a 24-18 loss in Buffalo. The Buccaneers defense, which is allowing just 18 points per game, will be looking to lead the team back into the win column. Notably, the Bills were only the second team this season to score over 20 points against Tampa Bay, making it unlikely for Houston to tally high points. The Buccaneers are currently tied for the best turnover differential in the NFL, thanks to their impressive number of takeaways. Furthermore, they hold opposing running backs to a mere 3.9 yards per carry. However, they have shown vulnerability in their pass defense, allowing an average of 7.4 yards per attempt, with quarterbacks completing 68.2% of their passes. Despite this, they are strong enough to keep most opponents under 20 points. This strong defense highlights the need for Tampa Bay's offense to consistently score at least 20 points each week. While they do well to avoid costly turnovers, with just 6 giveaways this season, their struggles come in moving the ball effectively. They rank 24th in the league with only 4.9 yards per play and possess the fewest rushing yards in the league with the second lowest rushing average. While they have allowed just a few sacks, only gaining 6.5 yards per pass attempt places the Buccaneers among the NFL's weakest passing teams statistically. With talented receivers like Mike Evans and Chris Godwin, the decline in their passing game is surprising. Despite expectations for a challenging season, the Texans have provided a sense of optimism. Even after being the first team to lose to the Panthers, they hold a 3-2 record in their last 5 games, with their losses totaling just 4 points. Defensively, they are on par with the Buccaneers, allowing only 18 points per game. In their last 5 games, only one opponent has managed to score over 20 points. The Texans typically dominate in the trenches, limiting opponents to 3.6 yards per rush, which allows them to maintain an advantage early in drives, while they struggle somewhat against the pass, allowing an average of 7.2 yards per attempt. Their sack count is modest at just 15. The Texans have also recorded 9 takeaways, though this number isn't particularly impressive. Nevertheless, their strength lies in their ability to control the run game, which keeps them competitive. This is in stark contrast to their struggling rushing attack, which only gains 3.3 yards per carry, making it one of the league's weakest. Rookie quarterback C.J. Stroud has been entrusted with leading the offense early in his career, as the Texans rely on him to compensate for their weak rushing game. They've committed just 4 giveaways and have a promising 7.6 yards per pass attempt. Stroud, alongside top target Nico Collins, delivers big plays that help keep Houston in contention. Although they average just 21 points per game after 3 consecutive weeks with less than 21 points, the Texans hope to have a productive outing at home. Despite Houston's better-than-expected performance this season, they hold a 3-4 record and have lost 2 of their last 3 games. Tampa Bay, on the other hand, is on a 3-game losing streak and is striving to rejuvenate their offense. In their recent 3 games, the Buccaneers have scored only 18, 13, and 6 points, but they are poised to rebound against Houston, whose defense has shown vulnerabilities. Tampa Bay showed promise in their last game against Buffalo, and I anticipate them building on that performance. I believe Baker and the Buccaneers' offense will find success here, and I'm inclined to take them with the points. So the Tampa Bay Buccaneers to cover the spread as underdogs is our full game side pick. Expect a defensive battle in this game, given the performance of both teams so far. The Texans have scored fewer than 20 points per game in their last 3 outings, and the Buccaneers have also failed to reach the 20-point mark in their last 3 games. Furthermore, both defenses rank in the top 10 for points allowed. Each defense excels at stopping the run, while both offenses struggle to gain significant yardage on the ground. The pass protection for both quarterbacks has been solid, resulting in these teams having the best and second-best records for protecting the football. Therefore, we shouldn't anticipate a high-scoring game in Houston this Sunday. Under the projected total is our full game total pick. Indianapolis Colts versus Carolina Panthers. On Sunday, November 5th, the Indianapolis Colts will face the Carolina Panthers in a matchup at the Panthers' home stadium. The Colts are coming off a 38-27 loss to the New Orleans Saints, marking their 3rd consecutive loss. In contrast, the Panthers secured their first victory of the season last week by defeating the Houston Texans. Indianapolis and Carolina will meet for the first time since 2019. When the Colts dominated the Panthers with a 38-6 win on their home turf. The Colts have faced a challenging season, but there have been some positive moments. Indianapolis began with a 3-2 record but has since suffered 3 consecutive losses. They have displayed strong offensive capabilities, scoring a total of 22 touchdowns, consisting of 12 rushing and 10 passing touchdowns. On the defensive side, however, they have allowed 25 touchdowns, including 15 rushing and 9 passing touchdowns. In their recent game against the Saints, the Colts were trailing by just 1 point at halftime. Unfortunately, they managed only 1 touchdown in the second half, resulting in a 38-27 defeat. Gardner Minshew contributed 213 passing yards with 2 touchdowns and an interception, while Jonathan Taylor rushed for 95 yards on 12 carries. Josh Downs made 7 receptions for 72 yards. Meanwhile, the Panthers have endured a challenging season. They suffered 6 consecutive losses to start the year and struggled to find offensive consistency. Carolina has scored just 13 touchdowns this season while conceding 25 touchdowns on the defensive end. The good news for the Panthers is that they are no longer winless, having secured a late field goal to defeat the Texans 15-13 in their previous outing. Bryce Young passed for 235 yards and a touchdown in the victory, and Chuba Hubbard contributed 28 rushing yards. Adam Thielen led the receivers with 8 receptions for 72 yards. The Carolina Panthers claimed their first win of the season, and they remain at home for Week 9. Both teams have struggled defensively, but the Panthers have had particular issues with their run defense, which happens to be the Colts' strong suit. Backed by the talented duo of Jonathan Taylor and Zach Moss, Indianapolis should be able to extend their drives through the ground and position themselves for scoring opportunities. Bryce Young's inconsistency in passing, coupled with Carolina's lackluster ground game, creates opportunities for the Colts. Both teams have faced challenges on the defensive side, suggesting a closely contested game. Carolina's struggles with run defense, allowing 4.7 yards per carry, make the Colts' ground game a focal point. Indianapolis is likely to rely on Jonathan Taylor and Zach Moss to consistently move the chains, capitalizing on Carolina's weaknesses in the red zone. While the Colts have their defensive issues, they should perform better in this matchup due to the Panthers' offensive struggles. Carolina has covered the spread only once in its last 7 games as an underdog, and Indianapolis has a 1-8 against the spread record in its previous 9 games as the favorite. As for scoring, the Colts have consistently posted respectable totals this season, reaching 20 or more points in all 8 games. They are expected to reach that mark again in this matchup. The Panthers, on the other hand, benefited from Houston's mistakes in their first win of the season but deserve credit for persevering. Carolina has scored 21 or more points in 3 of their last 5 games. However, they are unlikely to keep pace with the Colts on the scoreboard, even on their home turf. Therefore, the Colts, possessing a more potent offense and facing one of the weakest defenses in the NFL, should take care of business here in this one. So the Indianapolis Colts to win and cover the spread as favorites is our full game side pick. While expecting an improved defensive performance from the Colts, it does not necessarily mean they will completely shut down the Panthers. Therefore, taking the over on the total points scored is a reasonable choice. Both teams are expected to find ways to move the ball against each other and combine for more than 44 points. The Panthers will struggle to contain Indianapolis' rushing attack while attempting to exploit the defensive vulnerabilities of the Colts. The over has been the outcome in 8 of the Colts' last 10 games and in 6 of their last 7 away games. On the contrary, the under has prevailed in 6 of the Panthers' last 8 home games. The Colts have a history of hitting the over, especially on the road, and the Panthers have shown they can score against weak defenses, making the over a suitable choice. Despite Carolina scoring only 15 points last week, the total points scored is projected to exceed expectations. Over the projected total is our full game total pick. That's all for now, so if you have any other games you would like reviewed, then leave a comment down below with the game you would like analyzed. Subscribe to our channel, leave a like on this video, and we'll get to it as soon as we possibly can. We would also love to hear your opinion on the picks presented to you in this video, whether you agree or disagree with them, so leave a comment down below and do let us know.